What's up, guys? How we doing? A little Monday morning news. A little bit later, but we got the Cam Jurgens news for people that are wondering. What's up? Hope everybody had a happy Easter. I'll be honest, it's been a little bit since we've had more of this breaking news type of stuff because it's, rumor, speculation, everything else leading up to the draft. But we have official news. So if you're late to the game or haven't seen anything else because it's been all over social media for the last hour or so, I'll get you caught up. I'll put it up here on the screen. So we have right now, and if I can get this to work for me, there we go. Cam Jurgens has been extended, reached an agreement today. There's Schefter's report, many others, but $68 million extension includes $39.4 million guaranteed and ties him to the Eagles through 2029. So drop a like on this video, of course, because Cam Jurgy, or Beef Jurgy, Cam Jurgens, Beef Jurgy, locked up through 2029. Fantastic news. Yes, $17 million per year. By the way, the most guaranteed money to a center. If you're wondering where that falls in terms of centers in the entire league, that is second average annual value. $18 million is Creed Humphrey with the Chiefs, of course. But puts Cam Jurgens right there at number 2. And I'll put this up here. I don't know if, let's see. Over the Cap has not updated it yet, but sure they will in a bit. But there's your average annual value. So you see Cam Jurgens will fall in at number 2. Very well deserved. We talked about this, right whenever the Super Bowl ended, of like, hey, this is probably going to happen at some point. So just be on the lookout, and speculation of where he would fall. Actually, a little bit higher than I was saying. I think that I was at like the 15 a year. But hey, 17, heck yeah. Get it done. It's what makes Howie so great. How are we feeling about that? Mr. Edit, the future has been signed. That is, a lot of the future has been signed. There's others. There's a little bit, right? Make the case for that. There is, speaking of the future, though, if you look at, where's the graphic here? Yeah, there we go. I can get this one up for you. So look at the offensive line. I mean, we know that Howie values the trenches. But for people that are, just say, okay, yeah, he's gotten some other deals done, but can't quite remember where that puts these guys. So we're talking about 4/5, 80%, 4 of the 5 offensive linemen. Now we're wondering, who's that right guard? Wondered if it could be Mekhi Becton. Obviously not. Still Tyler Steen, potential. Do you have anything from Trevor Keegan or draft somebody in this year's draft? Who knows where that falls? But the Eagles got Lane Johnson through 2028, Jordan Mailata through 2028, Landon Dickerson through 2028, and now Cam Jurgens through 2029. Let's go. Come on, baby. Tyler Wall says, Beef Jurgy just the second best center in the league right now. Perhaps. I think you could make the case for it. I mean, the dude's a Super Bowl champ. And shout out to John Clark with the clip. There we go. This was the one that I was remembering whenever he brought it up. But, the Cam Jurgens at the Super Bowl afterwards. Or I'm sorry, the NFC Championship. After the NFC Championship game. Talking about got no words. Place is special. It's rocking. Love this city. Playing through the crazy back pain. Remember, he wasn't even able to play. It was so bad. So much pain. And that tells you everything you need to know about this guy. But such bad pain that he could not play. And Landon Dickerson had to start. And then at halftime, it was so bad for Landon Dickerson with the knee injury that he goes back in there. And for anybody who's had any sort of back injuries, I mean, come on. That tells you everything you need to know about the grit, the just passion for the city, giving it all, lay it all on the line. But also, shout out to, I think, Mellow Hype, I believe, was the one who was saying this first. So I'm not going to take credit for this this idea or this realization off the top because he had texted me. But this is just another proof point. It's another case to be made. If you are a free agent or even a player that potentially could get traded to the Eagles, it's do what you like. If you go out there and prove it, you're going to get paid for it. Like, you're going to reap those benefits. So Cam Jurgens, same thing here. Landon Dickerson, obviously, been done prior. Saquon Barkley, even. Heck, he didn't have to do a contract extension or rework that contract, but Howie goes, yeah, you know what? You were more than enough for us, so let's go ahead and get that done. Come on. Yes. Hey, actually, you know what? I'm glad that you brought this up. Checking out Beef Jurgy's company. So I'm going to do this here. I'm going to do a giveaway real quick because, why not? We just love to do those. But for Cam Jurgens and the Beef Jerky. So if you're not aware, surely you are, but if you're not, Cam Jurgens has a beef jerky company called Jurgy. That's why the nickname, I guess, Beef Jurgy. But we got any members of the channel on here in the chat? Anybody? Let me know. I'm going to give you the round robin. Let's see if I can make it round robin Jurgy sampler. Let's see. Anybody with the helmet next to their name? We've got to have someone. Oh, there's IBH. IBH, do you want some Jurgy? Okay, Texas stay. I don't know if to say that correctly. First two members that I see is IBH and Texas STEA76. I'm sorry. Texas T. Okay, that wasn't capitalized. I'm like, what in the world? Yeah, that's my bad. Okay. IBH, Texas T, email me if you want the sampler. Email me. I'll ship it out to you. So, thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com. thephillyspecialshow@gmail.com. Email me. I'll ship you two out the beef jerky. Congrats to you. I just went with the first two for members. So, every once in a while I do just the member giveaways. Congrats to you. Email me. I will email you back after the show, the stream. Get all your info. Let me hit up the super chat, though, because there was one that came through of IBH. Was there any cap space saved this year with any restructure? Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, actually. I was going to mention that here in a second, and this is perfect timing. So let me see if I can find this here, because I did see, of course, not to no one's surprise. This was Anthony DeBona who first had it, at least where I saw it there. But $3.3 million is what it appears that it is, according to Over the Cap. You see there. But Anthony DeBona, the man himself, says, according to Over the Cap, $3.3 million in cap space for 2025 by signing Cam Jurgens. So nothing crazy, but there is a little bit of some cap savings. Will the Eagles do something with that? Who knows? How much? What's the thought here? Is Howie getting ready to make a move with this, or is this just kind of like, well, you're trying to work out some deals and get a little bit of extra time, so why not? Again, I don't think that it's a surprise because we had so many people that were saying, okay, Cam Jurgens is going to get the contract. It's just a matter of time. We had Jimmy Kimsky, shout out to him. I saw an article there that was early, right with the Super Bowl. Anthony had said it back in February 20th. I think we did a recording like right after the Super Bowl, and he had said the same thing. Like, yeah, it's probably a matter of time. So called it there. All the different live streams, but yeah, it was only a matter of time. I am curious though, because if people have not seen this, there is a report. I guess it's Adam Schefter. I guess we call it a report. It feels like just speculation, but however we want to phrase this, if people have not seen it, there's Adam Schefter, who said here, the Eagles are more likely to trade for a veteran than they are to trade up in the first round. He went on to say, with the added pick firepower, Philadelphia's armed to make more trades, but deals for veterans instead of moving up in round one are considered more likely. That's interesting. I'm not sure if I'm totally buying that. Troy, what's up? See the comment there. What's up, Josh? It's not impossible. I guess the first question that comes to mind is okay, what veterans are we talking about? And if not like a high caliber type of what type of, is this a trade that we're doing in the first round So you just take a selection at 32 and then they're trading? Or are we talking about like a middle of the pack, however we want to phrase that, mid-tier trade that gets done later in the draft? And he's just saying you don't use the draft capital that you would have to try to trade up in the first round. You save that for, name your pick player, whatever, later in the draft. Remo, okay. I'm not alone. I'm glad that I'm not alone. Jared, welcome to Let's Run It Tier. Let's go, man. Member access to the member-only giveaways as well, so we'll certainly have some of those. Tyler, yes, I know that's Sleeper Eagles, but I didn't have the graphic on I didn't have the graphic for Schefter's comment earlier. So I had to pull something up just so people see the quote. Schefter did, there were lots of others that were commenting on this, so it's just the easiest to see. Adam Schefter did say that. You can go look it up for different articles or probably even see a rerun, but I can't play the video on here for the copyright, at least for the live stream. But yeah, Remo says, me either, Josh. Sounds like a smokescreen. Totally don't agree with Shefties. This is Drew. Snow Papa, get a top tier or tight end or safety. Wouldn't be such a bad move, in my opinion, if we trade. Yeah, but again, though, what are we talking about? What kind of trade? Jordan, Trayvon Walker. Okay. Cam Jordan is getting thrown out here. Brandon, all experts are way off the mark. They don't know what we're doing. We're not trading for anyone. Yeah, Diana Rossini was believing that for quite a while. For lots of different trades, and we didn't see any of those, I don't believe. So, had a couple different. I don't know. If I had to go just a couple names, and you guys know, I think anyone who's watched the videos or even the live streams, I could see a Kayvon Thibodeau. I could get behind Thibodeau. Like there's just, he was brought in for a top 30 visit back in 22, right before the draft. There was interest. Howie Roseman likes to revisit potentials that, they were high on before a draft. If you could make something, do the Giants agree to, anything with Philly, I guess, for that matter, because nothing's worked out for them recently. They should not be doing that. But Mr. Reddit, okay, we're in agreement. See, look at that. Kayvon Thibodeau. Sorry, I probably butchered that name. I think you spelled it correctly, sir. You did. Yes. Kirk City Starks. Look, I totally agree. If we do draft in the first round, I think we do, by the way, for those wondering, my personal thought. I think that we do draft in the first round. But if we draft, Walter Nolan is at the top for me. And I did a very recent mock draft. I posted a video. Couldn't get Walter Nolan. He was like at 17. Got taken at 7. If that happens, that's, I think, too high of trade up. But if he falls to, like 22, 23, 24 range, I think that's worth it. You could give up enough capital, not too much, but enough to go up there, make the move, get Walter Nolan, pair him up with Jalen Carter. I mean, the dude's like, y'all have heard me talking about him for forever, but just, yeah, on the defensive line. Now, Trey Hendrickson has been thrown out quite a bit. Michael H., is that Thibodeau guy any good, though? I think he is. Look, he had 4.5 sacks, 4.5 sacks his rookie season, 11 sacks. I'm just looking off the top of my head. I could probably just save time and look this up. Like 11 sacks his second year, and then 5.5 last season, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, 5.5 last year. But again, you're talking about playing for the Giants here, right? Like, all you got to do is get him on a little bit of a better team. You play with a Jalen Carter, get those double teams taken away. It's a little bit easier. Yeah, here's the official stats for those people wondering. The top line is his rookie year. So, yeah, the 4 sacks, 11.5 sacks second season 2023, and then 5.5 sacks last year. Only played 12 games. So, you look at a little injury thought there. I just see Tyler's comment. I'm going to get to that one in a second there. I knew it was only a matter of time. I actually thought of you for that. But yes, for Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm just saying he's got enough production early in his career, first 3 years, that I'm saying absolutely. Vic Fangio defense, why not? I would be for it, depending on, exactly how much you might have to give up. But the Giants, as I talked about in a recent video too, interested in Dallas Goedert. You package something there. If you're going to trade away Goedert anyway, it sounds like the Eagles are, because multiple reports now continue to say the same thing. It's like if we get an occasional one or two, like, oh, hey, the Eagles might be looking to trade for a veteran. Okay. But when there's like 3 or 4 different of the like big name reporters, I'm starting to buy into it. They're not always right. Totally get it. We can have all the reporters say the same thing, and sometimes it's like, nope, nothing happened. Wow. Surprising. But when you got like 4 of them, then you're starting to go like, okay, this is feeling likely. And Dallas Goedert continues to be that way. It's like you had one early in the offseason, one midway through free agency. Forgot who the other one was. Was it, I think, Schefter, and then Jordan Schultz as of late. So we've had a couple different reporters. Josina Anderson, Diana Rossini, others. And again, say what you will, individually, you can go look at the tracker and be like, oh, they say these things, they're not right. But if like 4 or 5 of them are going to that statement, then yeah, it feels likely. So former first-round pick, 5th overall selection in 2022, Kayvon Thibodeau, I would be for it. 6'5", 260, just saying. Michael Huff for Thibodeau straight up. Yeah, if we could get that to happen, why not? Okay, I'll come back to that in just a second. But Tyler with a 5, appreciate that. Yes, this is the comment I saw earlier. Josh, your mock draft 2.0, you had Burden at 32. I'm going to keep putting that in, I'm going to keep putting that seed out there. Yeah, it's, I thought of you whenever I was doing the mock. I immediately was like, okay, there he is. I could make this selection. Tyler would want me to do it, but the masses would have gone crazy. They said, no, what are you doing? Can't take that. Maxwell, this first round is not really unpredictable. Somebody's going to fall to us. I just don't know who. I do think that there's a very legit possibility, especially in this draft, because we've had so many people that have been projected all over the board. The more that you look at this draft, so it's a fair point, totally fair point. Some guys have a mock draft, a guy going to 15, and some other mock draft or one that you do is guy goes at 45. So go from middle of the first to middle of the second, or even later. I've seen some of those that go drastically differently, which is what makes it fun, I suppose. It's players that are all over the place. On that note, as we're just covering all the different news, by the way, people just joining that are curious and what the move officially, I can quickly put that one back up there. But Cam Jurgens, Beef Jurgy here to stay. Get the contract extension done. Eagles free up $3.3 million in cap space. Cam Jurgens reached an agreement, 4 years, $68 million extension. $39.4 million guaranteed, contractually ties him to Philly until or through 2029. And Howie is the GOAT, and that's why a lot of other GMs are not. They don't get the deals done. Back to, though, the note of, like, we don't know where basically anybody is going, and we don't know anything about the draft. So the Eagles have done a lot of research, obviously. As Anthony's sharing here, UCLA edge Oluwafemi Oladejo. But Tony Pauling actually is reporting that Oladejo could be a target for the Eagles at 32. So if you go into his latest article, check that out for, I think, Sports Skeet is, I believe, where he's at. But, yeah, this is a guy that every mock draft, it seems like you can get him around the 70 range, 80 range. But there's some teams that have him at 45 on their board. There's some of them that have him late first round. I don't know. He's got a lot to like, and there's some potential. I personally would say there's some other options at 32 if you're going to take, but this is why we don't know the draft. You don't know anything. Don't know which players are on which team's board and where they fall. And that's what makes it fun, too. So Thomas and I will be streaming the draft, by the way, so a quick subtle plug there. But if you want to come hang out on draft night, got some awesome, crazy giveaways. Of course, we've got the Cooper DeJean helmet, the signed Cooper DeJean helmet, which I'll be giving away on draft night. We're very close to 125,000 subscribers, too. So if you want to hit that sub button, you got to be subbed to win the giveaways. But giving away the Cooper DeJean helmet during the draft, and a couple other items, including the Jalen Hurts signed jersey. Yeah, see, I know that the people are not exactly on board with the Oladejo for for that price at 32, which I totally get it. I got to go back to Cam Jurgens, though, real quick, because I made a very brief mention to this. And then, Jared, I'm going to get to your super chat. But I don't know. I don't think it's as surprising to the Philly fans and the diehards of like Cam Jurgens. Now, to be a Pro Bowl, like the first full year as a starter, congrats to him. That's big time. Helped Howie have 4 straight seasons of second-round draft picks that made the Pro Bowl. Only a GM in NFL history to do that. But there were critics, right, of saying like, oh, Jason Kelce retiring, tush push is going to be dead, not going to be successful at all. You're not going to be able to get those short yardage situations. Just wait. The run game's going to be terrible, or well, maybe not terrible, but the running game's going to be certainly much lesser. You're going to have a significant drop off. And I think that was a part where we're going like, look, and even Cam Jurgens said it at training camp, probably a little bit before that. Like, I'm not trying to be Jason Kelce. I'm trying to be best version of myself. Now, there's some unfair criticism or some unfair comparison of like, well, how close can he get to Jason Kelce? Because, that's who he's trying to replace now. Big shoes to fill, all that. Totally get it. But, yeah, I'd say first year, Pro Bowl, get an extension. Second highest paid in terms of annual average value and highest in terms of guaranteed money for a center. It speaks for itself. Not too bad. So Jason Kelce helping out with the pick and Cam Jurgens, he knew what he was talking about, I guess. So did Howie. Go figure. You let the guys who do the work or in the position and analyze, self-scout, see those players. It can actually work out sometimes. So let's go. All right, let me get to Jared's here. Appreciate the 5-year, Jared. How are we replacing Mackay at right tackle? I'm sure you meant right guard, but he was such a big part of run game last year. What are your thoughts on the new right guard situation? Yeah, I'm sure meant right guard. Obviously, Lane is right tackle. Yeah, it's not a major concern. I am curious to see how it plays out, but Tyler Steen had the job before he got injured at training camp. So kind of thinking like, obviously Jeff Stoutland was a big fan of Tyler Steen. So he was kind of planning on going that direction. Then he injures his ankle, and the rumor or the report, I guess, what Sirianni and Stoutland said at the Super Bowl even was that Sirianni was the one who had kind of seen that at first and be like, oh, well, let's just give him a rep or two. Let's just see what he does at right guard. And then the rest is history. Turn Mackay Becton into a really good right guard, incredible run blocker, very good pass blocking, and, we saw what happened. So, but yeah, Tyler Steen was drafted for a reason. Jeff Stoutland saw him back previously from that to take him in the 3rd round. So I'm not majorly concerned. There's a couple things that you can look at from time to time of either spot starts or whenever Steen's pressed in action and did fairly well, but then, you can look at individual reps and break that down kind of on a granular scale and go like, okay, there's a few things that, pass blocking needs to improve. Run blocking was all right, not the same type of efficiency from Mackay Becton, but it's not like it fell off a cliff either. They were able to run the football. So I think that it'll be all right. I do think that it'll be Tyler Steen. Maybe there's other options. You could draft somebody, but ultimately, it's Jeff Stoutland, right? So like you could insert, he could insert a brand new no name that none of us have heard about and go, even though we might be a little bit like, that's a little skeptical, there's just more of the credibility to go, no, he'll be fine. Stoutland University knows what he's doing. You got the offensive line. Heck, he's got whoever the right guard is, whether it's Tyler Steen or anyone. They've got Cam Jurgens on one side and Lane Johnson on the other side of them. So I think that they'll be all right. But, yeah, that's one of the positional questions, battles, if you will, areas just to keep an eye on. But if Tyler Steen's able to hold it down, then, my gosh, this thing's a wrap. You think about the other 4 guys are locked up through 2028 or longer. And I just mentioned Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, and Lane Johnson. So we'll see. I think Tyler Steen could still be solid. Give him some time. He got injured, kind of messed things up early part of last year. Heck, I'm not saying this is the same thing, but, people doubt Nakobe Dean, myself included, I didn't think that. And then he played really well until the injury. So, Elbert with a 2. This is Howie season in effect. Cam Jurgy, lifetime Eagle. Let's go just go, what was it, 13 years, and then go straight into Cam Jurgens and have another 13 years. I'm for that. Heck yeah. All right, let's see. There's another one that I was going to bring up here. The trade options. I saw a couple others that were mentioning this. The mid-tier, I maybe brought it up briefly, but Michael Mayer, tight end. Does Dallas Goedert? I do think that Dallas Goedert gets traded. I've said multiple times, I feel like it's probably a day 2. Could be even a day 3. I believe it'll be day 2 because they're trying to get some sort of draft capital that you could use on day 2. If Howie's not able to swing that, then, process of elimination, I guess we go to day 3. But I think you get it day 2. And then if that happens, you're looking elsewhere. But keep an eye, it depends a lot. You keep an eye on who the Eagles draft. If we draft a tight end, I think that's it already feels like Dallas Goedert's going to be moving on. But if they draft a tight end, then, that I think tells you all you need to know, depending on how far, you are on the range of tight end. If we're day 3 and they take someone like 6th round, then, all right, that doesn't necessarily go, well, okay, Dallas Goedert is for sure gone. But, if it's earlier, I think so. But Michael Mayer has been linked multiple times, and there was interest previously, how he has had. So that's one. It's not as much of giving up in terms of trade and draft capital. Mr. Carter, I'm with you, though. Walter Nolan, please. Tyler would love Princely if he'd fall to the 2nd. That's also fair. I can never pronounce the last name, but I'm with you. But yeah, drop the like, right? Hit the like button if you haven't already, as Dylan said. 630 plus, only 100 likes. Hit the like button. Cam Jurgens, Eagle for life. Got the deal locked up. Lastly here, before we kind of wrap this thing up, though, and again, congrats to the Beef Jurgy winners. I'll be shipping that out to you. A.J. Brown did have his car stolen briefly. He did post that. But the police returned the car back. So I think I saw people talking about that in the chat a second ago. AJ did post that I believe, got his Rolls Royce back. So the police either found it, identified it, returned it. Something happened, but he's all good. So for people that are wondering, and he's not going to be traded. Adam Schefter confirmed that those reports of the Eagles and trading out for Abdul Carter, for A.J. Brown and all that is fake, which you didn't need Adam Schefter to tell you that. But, to reiterate, let's just keep our cool, keep our heads. There are moves coming. It's just a question of when and what Howie's going to do. Some say that's going to be trade for a veteran, like I mentioned with Adam Schefter at the beginning of the stream. Others, you trade up. I would like to see that with the Walter Nolan, as I mentioned, but I'm going to wrap it up here. Thibodeau, Bo, hey, maybe. Talked about this a second ago. But let me know. Let me know in the comments section what you think, who the Eagles should trade. If it's a veteran, name the guy. Who should they trade? What's the compensation there? And if not, if you're trading up in the draft, then let me know that as well. But more videos to come. Probably going to try to do one final mock draft on Tuesday night's live stream, so you can stay tuned for that as well. But make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and get in on all the giveaways that we're going to be doing streaming Thursday and Friday night. So, till then, we'll see you guys. Go Birds.